Good evening, everyone. Magandang umaga po sa mga nandito sa amin, North America, Canada, US, sa Philippines, magandang gabi. Dr. Iris po ito. Today, pag-uusapan natin again another session on better health. So, mainly ang ating focus for today is intermittent fasting. Alam niyo po that I'm an advocate for both low carbohydrate and intermittent fasting type of lifestyle, usually in combination. And many of our broadcasts nitong mga nakaraan have been focused more on the low carb part of it. Marami na po tayong napag-usapan. Kung hindi pa po napapanood, marami pong mga nagtatanong, mga comments, mainly about yung doon sa ating videos, yung mga dapat iwasan para pumayat. And marami pong mga comments doon that I will address, mga questions. The past few broadcasts have mainly been about low carbohydrate. And we've been talking about yung mga hormonal effects nito. And now, mag-focus naman po tayo dun sa intermittent fasting part. And so, pakihanda lamang po yung mga questions ninyo. If you have not joined yung atin pong community, I'm just gonna put it down here. Makikita nyo rin po ang link sa caption nitong announcement na ito. So, here's the link to our community kasi nandoon po yung ating mga gabay, yung ating mga postings, madaling hanapin. But also, to give you some inspiration kung ano nga ba yung mga ginagawa ng mga members natin, how long they're fasting for, ano yung mga kinakain nila. So, paki-join po kung hindi pa kayo miyembro, please join our Level Up Wellness community. Paki-search nyo lang or i-click ninyo yung link na nandito sa description ng video na ito. So, today, we're talking about yung mga benefits. Bakit nga ba? Ano nga ba yung intermittent fasting na yan? Is that just a fad? Siya ba ay isang parang passing ano lang yan? Yun nga po, yung parang fad diet or nauuso lamang sa ngayon tapos mawawala rin. Well, the interesting thing about fasting, it's been around for so long. Since po na tayo ay magkaroon ng mga iba't ibang relihiyon, and even from the beginning. So ito po, importante po itong maintindihan para po you will realize just how natural fasting is and how it fits into the evolution ng atin pong human body, how we, how it impacts our health. So if you think about it, so balikan po muna natin yung evolution part. Now, here's the thing, very, very important thing to understand. Yun pong ating katawan, so the human body has a much slower evolution compared sa ating technology. So, ngayon po tayo kasi mga tao, we are so innovative, we are so creative, and so we created all these technologies na imbento yung mga ilaw, right? So now 24/7 na laging may ilaw. And so ano nangyari dahil doon 24/7 din merong mga tindahan kasi may ilaw, may pwedeng buksan yung mga tindahan. So we have access to everything almost. And syempre kasama dyan yung mga groceries, mga 7-Eleven, mga ganon, mga mini stop, right? And so pag magugutom ka, takbo ka lang doon. So yung technology mo is so advanced. Kapag may gusto kang kainin, meron ka ng fridge, right? So bubuksan mo lang nandun, pagkain, matagal na nakaimpok, hindi masisira. But what about your human body? So yung iyong katawan is still adapted to yung dati niyang way of metabolizing, yung ating tinatawag na hunter-gatherer society. Di ba yung pinakauna po, kung titingnan natin yung mga humans noong panahon na yun, wala naman silang access sa pagkain 24/7, right? Kung ikaw ay magugutom, anong gagawin mo? You're gonna go out and hunt. Ikaw ay mag-hunt ng pwede mong kainin or kailangan mong lumabas at mangalap ng makakain mo. Hindi naman yan agad-agad, like, for example, if you're going to rely on plants, yung plants may season din yan. So, hindi naman lahat ng oras mayroong bunga na pwede mong pitasin, mga ganon. So, yung katawan po ng nating mga tao has been designed to withstand these long periods kung saan hindi readily available ang pagkain. And how does it do that? Sa pamamagitan po ng hormonal effects. Kaya nga po, I always discuss with you the main hormone responsible for metabolism, yung regulation po ng ating kinakain. And I always say this, and I will not, stop saying it, kahit kayo ay medyo siguro yung iba sa inyo, palagi na lang yan. But because it's the key concept. And sometimes kahit alam na ng iba, but they still don't really take that into account. They don't apply. So sa platform po natin, mga ka-FSM, there's always that learning and application. Kasi kung learn, walang application, ano pong mangyayari? Wala pong mangyayari. Walang change ng mangyayari. So kung nandito kayo following me, watching my broadcasts, dahil gusto po ninyong pumayat, pero you keep doing the things that are taliwas, doon po sa natututunan ninyo, you will not lose weight. Okay? And so this is why I'm always repeating the concept of this hormone. So ito pong hormone na ito. If you remember, si boss insulin po ang hormone na nagdidikta kung tayo ba ay tataba. Pero hindi lamang pagtaba ang kanyang trabaho, meron pa siyang ibang importanteng ginagawa. And this is nga tied into that evolution ng human body. Give me a moment, tanggalin lang natin ito. Yan. So, it's tied into the evolution of the human body kasi nung mga panahon na ang ating hunter-gatherer society ay kakain, miminsan lang yun, di naman sila makakakain all the time. So, ang ginagawa ni insulin, okay, sabi ni insulin, pag may pagkain di ba po pag may pagkain, usually, ang kadalasang breakdown product niyan, especially if you're eating something like carbs, will be the glucose. So, yan ang gasolina ng katawan, right? And so, sabi ni insulin, ang una niyang trabaho, okay, gasolina, here you go, pasok ka doon sa loob ng cell, kailangan ka para tumakbo yung cell. So, yung cells is the different things that make up our organ systems. Ngayon, kung may labis, ang susunod na gagawin ni boss insulin, uutusan niya ngayon si glucose na pumunta dito kay liver naman. Kasi alam niya na hindi all the time there will be access to food. So, syempre, kung hindi all the time may access to food, kailangang mag-impok. So, when you eat, so let's talk about our ancient human muna, yung ating ninuno noon. Pagkakain yung ating ninuno, then may sobrang konti. Ang gagawin ni boss insulin, sasabihin niya, okay, yung hindi nagamit na glucose, atin munang impukin sa ating atay. So then, it will command that extra glucose to be stored in the form of glycogen. So, glycogen ay isang storage form po ng glucose for later use. Dahil alam, yung wisdom ng ating body, tayo po ay nilikha na very, yung pagkakalikha sa atin, it's so fascinating, it's so wonderful. It takes into account yun pong mga periods na yun of fasting, walang access sa food. So ngayon, dahil meron tayo mga built-in storage systems, and ang pinag-uusapan na natin ngayon is yung ikalawa, which is that the first one actually na storage system, kasi yung cell, once nagamit niya yun, then it's gone. First storage system is yung liver. So then, meron tayong ready na pwedeng pagkuhanan kapag tayo ay nangangailangan na ng energy na yun, dun sa time na wala pa tayong makain. Right? Kasi it's not all the time na yung humans before could hunt. Di naman all the time nandyan lang yung mga pagkain. And even if you hunt, you still have to prepare that food. So imagine po ninyo yung oras-oras na kinakailangan para lamang maghanap at i-prepare ang pagkain. Kasi wala naman tayong advances in technology noon. And so, yun po yung unang storage system. Ngayon, kung may labis pa rin, let's say, meron pa rin labis na food from the food that you ate, mapupunta naman yun sa atin naman pong mga fat store. So yun yung third storage system. Let me pull it up. And this is actually the most well-known effect of the hormone insulin, is to get those extra glucose stored sa ating fat cells kapag nasobrahan na yung sa atay. And the thing about fat storage, which was good for human evolution before, is unlimited po yung storage na yan. Kaya nga po, di ba, may nakikita kayo minsan mga tao who are morbidly obese. Sila ay yung kanilang pagtaba ay talagang walang hangganan. Kasi ang storage system po ng fat sa katawan natin, wala din po yung hangganan. Hanggat kayo ay may ipinapasok, meron siyang paglalagyan. So that's the unique thing about the fat storage. Ngayon naman, fast forward to today, tayo ngayon ay with all these technologies and access to food, but operating with an ancient body, ano po yung nangyayari? So imagine, every time kakain ka, and hindi mo yun nabuburn, pupunta siya sa mga storage system. Hanggang dumating sa panahon na yung balance, yung tip ng balance na yun, is more on storage, kesa sa burn. And then you get yung current epidemic natin ngayon sa mundo, which is obesity. And with this epidemic, nandoon ang mga kasama nitong mga sakit, like marami po yan, diabetes, high blood pressure, nandyan yung high cholesterol, andyan yung, even yung mga things like cancer, right? Because it's coming from overproduction. So things like memory loss, yung mga modern disease sa babae, PCOS, yung polycystic ovarian syndrome, mga iba't ibang inflammatory conditions. So inflammation, diseases ng inflammation that are actually tied in with food overconsumption. So overnutrition. Yung mga nakikita natin picture sa Africa ng mga nagugutom na mga bata, it's a, even though hunger still exists in certain parts of the world, meron din tayong epidemya ng overnutrition din. Sobra-sobra. And so ito ay nagdudulot din ng iba't ibang mga sakit, like what I've mentioned. So let's now that we understand yung fasting, how natural it is, because it's actually based on those hormonal signals ng metabolism, then let's now go to yung mga benefits ng fasting. Bakit nga ba ito ay pinapayo? So ito nga ba ay fad? No, it's been around for ages. Napakatagal na po nito. It's been around since the evolution of man came. And then, nandun din po yung mga fasting traditions. Hindi po ba yung ating mga, even in Catholic tradition, meron tayong fasting. Sa atin pong mga brothers and sisters who are Muslims, merong fasting. Sa ating yung mga Jew, they also fast. Yung mga Buddhist, mga Hindu. So there must be something about fasting that even yung mga iba't ibang religion po are actually advocating for it. And I think this is because even itong mga religion na ito has realized it can be the cleansing benefit of fasting, the way that siguro napansin nila yung mga effects nito. And so it's been promoted in these various religions kahit noon pa po. So it's not a fad. Hindi po siya uso lamang. Matagal na po itong nandito. Kaya lang, ngayon lang natin nabibigyan ng atensyon kasi nga, nauso rin yung overproduction ng pagkain, yung overconsumption. And so people lost the concept of fasting dahil laging may pagkain eh. Sino bang makakaalam yung fasting na yan? Laging may access sa food, right? Ngayon, ang fasting ba, parehas ba yan sa tinatawag na starvation? So is fasting the same as starvation? Hindi po sila magkaparehas. Fasting is voluntary. Starvation, ito yung nangyayari dun sa mga bata sa Africa na wala talagang access sa food. It's beyond their control. Pag tayo nagfa-fasting, it's completely within your control and you have access to food but you voluntarily choose not to eat. So yun po yung pagkakaiba ng dalawa. So ngayon, puntahan na natin benefits ng fasting. Unang-unang benefit, bakit nga ba someone like me who doesn't need to lose weight, why would I fast? So I fast actually for various reasons, and di-discuss ko sa inyo. And these are the reasons that have been shown by science, by evidence, na dahilan kung bakit nga ba ang fasting nakaka-detox, bakit nga ba siya, why does it help our health, right? So unang benefit, improved mental clarity. So benefit number 1, susulat ko lamang po. Yeah, so improved mental clarity. And pag-uusapan natin kung bakit nga ba ganyan. Yan. So, benefit number 1. Yan. Improve mental clarity. Bakit? When you go fasting, dahil hindi mo na binibigyan ang katawan ng source of fuel na nanggagaling from glucose. Siyempre po, pag kayo nagfa-fasting, di lahat ng kinain ninyong glucose, kung kayo'y nag-carb, ano po, kumain kayo ng maraming carb, naging glucose yun, nag-fasting kayo, mauubos din yun, right? Remember, it first goes to the cells, and then after it goes to the cells, the first storage system is the liver. So ngayon, mauubos din yun kasi eventually if you extend your fast for a bit of time, like in the literature, they say usually around mga parang 16, it depends on the person. So 14, 16, or 18 hours ng inyong pagfa-fasting, yung mga stores na yan sa atay, nade-drain na siya. So unti-unti nawawala. And then beyond that, again, it depends on the person, on your metabolic profile, on how much fat you've still got to lose. Then after a while, after po ninyong maubos yun sa liver, then you will now get to your fat stores. So imagine, if your body is running on fat fuel, and the fascinating thing is the brain can also run on fat fuel. Noong araw, akala nila ang brain glucose lang yung magpapatakbo sa kanya. Hindi pala. It can also run on fatty acids. So when your brain is running on fatty acids, and this has been proven, kung kayo ay ever magta-try mag-fast for longer, mapapansin niyo po ito. I've done this myself, and I noticed, you will be able to think more clearly. Kasi you're running on a different kind of fuel. Kumbaga ay clean fuel siya. Hindi siya katulad ng glucose fuel. Ano po nangyayari minsan pag kayo na-over kumain ng carbs? Parang ano po, no? Parang foggy. Para kayong, alam niyo yung parang, ano kayo yung parang, yung pag-iisip ninyo parang nagsuslow down, parang gusto ninyong hihiga na lang, di ba? Parang nagiging foggy kayo, hindi clear. When you are burning fat for fuel through the regimen using either low carb, kasi low carb can also get you into, remember, fat adaptation. And fat adaptation, you're actually using fat for fuel. And the same thing that happens with intermittent fasting, kung sa fat fuel na lamang kayo tumatakbo, nagiging clear po ang ating pag-iisip. So when the brain uses fat as fuel, clearer po yung ating thought process. So that's the number 1 benefit. And for me, that's one. Did you know na yung CEO po ng Twitter, so the Twitter CEO, Jack Dorsey, ginagamit niya itong intermittent fasting to have an edge over his competitors kasi mas nakakapag-isip siya clearly kung siya ay nagfa-fasting. So you will eventually experience this. Kung gusto po ninyong i-try in the future, give it a try. And let me know how you feel. Definitely ako po, it has happened to me. You get more mental clarity. So yun yung number 1. Number 2, syempre, kung bakit nandito yung ating mga followers. So number 2 benefit, pinakasikat, is syempre, weight and body fat loss. So weight and body fat loss, yun yung susunod na benefit ng intermittent fasting. Of course, pag walang pumapasok na fuel, then ano mangyayari again? Starts to access all our stored system. So storage system, liver, so yung mga glycogen dyan, at yung mga fat cells eventually. Again, depends on the person, depends on how much you've got to lose, depends on your metabolic condition, depends on your basal metabolic rate. Marami pong mga nakadepende, but still, if you're consistent enough and you continue to do the fasting for longer periods of time, combined with low carb, for sure, maa-access yung ating mga natatagong taba. Pinakamahirap kasi i-lose yung belly fat. Mahirap po talaga yan. Why? Because it's, you have to drain first yung liver fat. So yung glycogen ng liver, and then saka pa lamang ma-access si fat na nasa labas, which is usually, ang una mo nang mabuburn dyan will be yung nasa loob, yung hindi nakikita. Hindi mo na yung salbabida, kundi yung nakapaligid doon sa mga bituka natin. Yung mga tinatawag na visceral fat. So kailangan maubos din muna yon. Then mapapansin nyo, unti-unti nang umiimpis yung tiyan. Then eventually, it will access yung mismong salbabida na, yung nakikita nating bilbil. So that's the second benefit. Now, third benefit will be benefit number 3. So lower ayan. So syempre from metabolism, okay, give me a moment. Ayaw na niyang i-load yung aking. Okay. So here we are. Benefit number 3. Yan. So benefit number 3, lowered insulin and blood sugar. So syempre, yun na nga, sinabi na natin, when you are fasting, remember, yung itong ating, tingnan ninyo, itong ating, I showed this to you before, you've seen this many, many, many times. Kapag kayo ay nagfa-fasting, tingnan ninyo, so yung arrows will show you if the insulin is increasing, and kapag bumababa ang insulin, will be the green. So tingnan ninyo yan, if you are doing intermittent fasting, bumababa talaga yung insulin, right? And so, pag bumaba si insulin, at wala na ding excess glucose dyan sa katawan, ano po yung nangyayari? Then, of course, bababa yung pinaka notorious na effect ng insulin resistance, which is yung high sugar. And so, in this case, it will be yung benefit number 4, which is benefit number 4 is actually reversal nung ating diabetes kasi it follows, right? If yung inyo pong insulin and blood sugar levels are low, then syempre, yung inyong, the disease that it causes, which is pinaka-notorious dyan is syempre yung diabetes, maaari po yung ma-reverse. And so in my personal experience as a doctor, maraming beses ko na po itong nagawa sa mga pasyente ko. Maraming pasyente na po akong natulungan na ma-reverse. So reverse, ibig sabihin, wala nang diabetes. So una muna, when I met them, meron silang diabetes. Tapos start kami ng lifestyle modification kasi hindi ko masyado gusto yung nagbibigay ng gamot. In the beginning, depende. Kung malala ang diabetes, of course, you have to also give some symptomatic treatment. Symptomatic kasi ang tinitreat yung asukal, hindi naman yung cause. But we always, like in my own practice, always root cause. Ano nga ba yung sanhi? Sobrang daming glucose, right? Yun ang sanhi. Insulin stimulation. Si Boss Insulin, laging overworked. So, address yung sanhi, go into the low-carb intermittent fasting. Ano nangyayari sa pasyente? Nare-reverse yung kanyang diabetes. Hindi na kailangan ng gamot. Hindi na sila diabetic. Napakagandang bagay po, ano? So, natural reversal of disease. Okay. So, next benefit. So, benefit number 5. Usually, when you're fasting, meron din siyang effect sa inyong energy and certain hormones like yung tinatawag na growth hormone. So, that's benefit number 5. Increased energy and growth hormone. Dahil pag nagfa-fasting po, yung certain other signals are affected too. So yung growth hormone nakakatulong sa atin, to do certain processes in the body. Pwede po yung tumaas. And then yung energy nanggagaling mainly from yung stimulation ng adrenaline sa ating katawan kapag tayo nagfa-fasting. So mga hormonal cascades po kasi yan na maaring mangyari kung ang katawan ay hindi na naiistorbo ng always processing food. So yan po yung kagandahan. So that's benefit number 5. Now, ano po yung susunod na benefit? Isa pang notorious na sakit. So ito, maraming nagtatanong po nito kasi medyo nalilito. Sabi nila, pwede ba akong I made a video about this, nasa YouTube po yan. Pwede ba akong for example, low carb, kung dati na mataas yung cholesterol ko? Pwede ba akong mag-intermittent fasting kung ang problema ko is high cholesterol? Pwede po. In fact, as long as, again, I always tell you, I'm here to provide you information, but yung specific medical circumstances po ninyo, hindi ko alam. So always consult first with your own doctor, get clearance na ang inyong mga medical conditions ay stable, and once you get that clearance, then you are okay to do these regimens, yung low carb and intermittent fasting. Generally speaking, kung kayo ay stable ang medical condition ninyo, kahit kayo may diabetes, high blood pressure, basta stable naman ito, then intermittent fasting and low carb can be safely done. So sa mga lagi nagtatanong dyan, it can be safely done po. Provided that you got that clearance, okay lahat. Kasi meron din pong mga disease states na hindi tayo pwedeng sumabak lamang sa low carb and intermittent fasting, lalo na pag mga very unstable, like for example, certain kidney diseases, depende po yan sa stage. Okay po? So, always get that clearance. Social media, itong pag-provide ko sa inyo ng information, this is general information, so you have awareness. But do not take my advice. Hindi tayo doctor-patient relationship kasi I haven't seen you. I haven't examined you myself. I have not done your labs. I don't know anything about your particular circumstance, but I'm giving you information. Yeah, so yun lamang po. And then, so let's go now to benefit. Yung susunod po nating benefit, ito gustong-gusto, and this is actually one of the reasons why I do it, is yung, ito po, memory. So lowered risk of memory loss. And so very, very important po ito sa may mga family history ng tinatawag na mga dementia. Narinig niyo na po yun, yung Alzheimer's dementia, memory problem po yun. So when you fast, you're allowing your body to get rid of itong mga cells that get deposited sa brain that cause memory loss. So yun yung another beauty of fasting. Kaya nga ang fasting is such a wonderful detox. Para siyang wonderful detox program because it gives you that chance to parang regenerate regenerate cells in your body, clean up. And I'm gonna give, and actually in that way, yun yung susunod yung benefit. By the way, these things that I'm discussing with you, mga ano po ito, mga lumabas sa mga research, and this has been summarized very well by my colleague, Dr. Jason Fong. He's a Canadian nephrologist, so dito rin po siya sa Canada, and he's talked a lot about this. He's done a lot of work on this, and ito po yung mga nabanggit niya na benefits. So, benefit number 8, dahil nga you are giving your body a chance to cleanse itself and detox, then of course, you have the capacity to live longer. So, longer life. Imagine if tumatakbo ang katawan ninyo in the right way. God willing po, ano? God willing. Siyempre kasi pag panahon mo na, panahon mo na. Pero kung maaari mong tulungan ang sarili mo, bakit hindi rin, right? And so, God willing, as long as you're taking care of your body and not feeding it yung junk, right, then you're optimizing your health. And with using regimens like low carb and intermittent fasting, it's been known in various research, napakarami na pong research lumalabas, nakakapagpahaba po talaga ng buhay yung tayo ay kumakain ng tamang oras. So, intermittent fasting and time-restricted eating, at syempre tamang pagkain. So yun nga po, low carb has been also shown to have this effect. So susunod naman po, ano pa nga ba ang mga benefits ng fasting? So benefit number 9 naman. Yung mga nakamiss po, ano yung ngayon lang nag-join, you can always rewatch this video. Ilalabas din po namin yan. Nasa YouTube din po ito. Ilalabas din po namin ito ulit dito sa platform Filipino Success Movement. Minsan, ito sinashorten namin para madali ninyong hanapin at maintindihan. So the next one po is, ito fascinating din ito. Reduction of inflammation. So reduction of inflammation, benefit number 9. Kaya po yung mga iba dyan, na mga high carb, pansinin nyo po, actually ang dami ko na nakausap na ganito mga patients ko na dati talagang really super high carb diet sila or laging kumakain, never nag-fasting. Ang complain lagi, Dok, ang sakit po ng mga kasukasuan ko. Yan, mga joints nila, mga tuhod, yung mga kung saan-saan, mga likod, ganyan. Of course, yun nga, lagi magpasuri muna sa doctor para makita kung ano nga ba yung cause nun. Pero kung wala talagang makita sa pagsusuri, then really look at your diet. Kasi napakarami pong mga pagkain, especially, lagi nating binabanggit to, especially the highly processed food. Highly processed food na usong-uso po dyan at nakikita po natin sa mga groceries natin punong-puno, these are the things that contain all these artificial, mga chemicals po, ano? Pag kayo nag-label reading at makita ninyo na ang ingredients ay 5 or more sa isang simpleng pagkain lamang, better not buy it, right? Because usually, napakaraming chemicals. And all these chemicals, all these artificial things, and most of the time pa loaded yan ng sugar, all these things cause inflammation. And no wonder, daming nagko-complain, yun na nga, high carb na nga yung diet, tapos panay processed pa. Lahat naka-box, naka-plastic, no? Instead of eating natural whole foods, tunay na prutas, tunay na karne, right? Mga tunay na pagkain, tunay na isda. They keep buying all these processed. Syempre, daming chemicals nun. And what will the chemicals do? They're all unnatural. So, hindi sila natural. And so, they will elicit certain inflammatory cascade reactions. So, yun po. If you are fasting, of course, and staying low carb and eating whole foods, then wala yung mga ganyan. Right? Hindi masyadong napoprovoke yung inflammation cascade. Kaya karamihan ng mga nagtitake up ng intermittent fasting at yun nga, naglo-lose ng weight, they're glad to report. They tell me, Doc, ang sarap ng pakiramdam ko. I feel so light. I feel so light. Wala na yung mga sakit ko sa katawan. Yung mga kasukasuan, yung mga, yung iba, nag-clear up pa yung skin nila, right? Because they can also make your skin clear up. So, better skin. Lalo na po yung prolonged fasting, yung mga nag-extended fasting. They have a tightening effect sa skin. Yung skin nagiging tight, so younger looking. Ano po? Okay, and then finally, yung pinaka-importante, I'll talk more about this in an upcoming video, benefit number 9. Sorry, number 10. Number 10 na tayo, yeah. Benefit, sandali, sinusulat lang natin, will be of cellular, ito, activation of, itong term na ito, kailangan ninyong malaman. Yan. Benefit number 10, ayun. Activation of autophagy. So, autophagy ay natural na proseso. Auto, self. So, Greek, ano po yan ang word? Self. Phagy is eating, self-eating. So, from the term, it means na yung katawan ay may kapasidad na kainin yung sarili. Pero ano yung kinakain niya? Hindi naman po yung kinakain lang niya yung mga defective, yung hindi gumagana ng tama. Kaya nga, a lot of the recent research that's been coming out for low-carb nutrition and fasting also talk about things like cancer. Kasi when you promote itong autophagy na ito, there's cleaning up. So, general cleansing, detox. And so, yung mga defective materials, like kanina nabanggit ko, di ba yung sa Alzheimer's, memory loss, these are defective proteins. Mga defective proteins yan, nakakainin din ng sarili nating katawan and they get rid of it. Same thing with tumors, right? So, cancer, tumors yan eh. And these are defective tumors. Kaya nga meron ngayong theory about starving your cancer cells through fasting, low carb. Kasi pag hindi mo yan susuplayan ng kanyang pagkain, which is glucose, so the cancer cells eat glucose. Pag hindi mo sinuplayan ng pagkain, magugutom yung cancer. So starvation theory. And ano mangyayari? Magre-regress. So there's been cases known na nag-improve yung mga precancerous or even cancer type of mga different types of cancer dahil po sa intermittent fasting. But we need to learn more about this. So it's relatively new. Lumalabas pa lamang yung mga research, but very exciting. And it's because of the concept of autophagy, self-cleaning. So yun po yung 10 benefits niya. Ulitin ko lang po, yung mga na-late, pwede po itong panoorin sa YouTube, pwede rin itong mapanood dito. Again, isa-shorten namin yung video and you can watch this. So number 1, improved mental clarity. 2, weight and body fat loss. 3, lowered insulin and blood sugar. 4, reversal ng diabetes. 5, increased energy and growth hormone. So building up of our body again. 6, lowered cholesterol. 7, lowered risk of memory loss. 8, longer life. Napakaganda po, ano? Yung iba dyan, di man kailangan pumayat. Hindi naman kailangang, nasa maintenance phase na. Do it for longer life. Yeah, that's why I do it, for longer life. Then number 9, reduction of inflammation. Sorry, wrong spelling. Inflammation po yan. Kulang ng F. And then finally, activation ng autophagy, which is, again, another reason why I do it. So for me personally, I'm doing it for benefit number 1. I'm doing it for benefit number 5, benefit number 8, and benefit number 10. Yun yung rason bakit ko ginagawa. You may have your own different reasons. Some people do it because they need to do it for this. That's also okay. Some people need to do it for this. That's also great. Some people need to do it for this. So whatever your reason is, start with a goal. Kung hindi nyo pa napapanood yung video ko about goal setting, panoorin din po. So that's it. And hindi ko masasagot lahat po ng mga katanungan, pero titingnan ko po. Let me see what I can pull up here. Yung hindi masagot, ipupull namin ito at next live ko. I'm going live again in 2 days. By the way, yung mga nga po pala dyan, yung medyo struggling with stress. Meron po ako later, or sa Philippines is Wednesday, dito sa North America mamayang hapon, meron po akong live. Ito naman ay via Zoom. So, kailangan ninyo mag-register, kailangan ninyo i-download yung Zoom kasi face-to-face po ito, dahil this is a special kind of interaction. Guided interaction po ito. Nandun ako, makikita nyo ako, makikita ko kayo. So, it is all about stress reduction. So, yung mga nagsistruggle po dyan sa stress, ang issue sa buhay nila. Remember, no matter how good ang inyong low carb at fasting, kung kayo naman ay overly stressed, mahihirapan pa rin po kayo mag-lose weight. That's the reality. Why? Kasi may iba pang hormones that control weight loss. And kasama dyan yung hormone na cortisol, which is the stress hormone. So, i-discuss ko din po yan later. May mga iba pa kasing bagay that affect weight loss metabolism. Although bigger players, syempre, big players ang insulin and the hunger hormones, but kung napapansin niyo na tama naman yung paglo-low carb ko, consistent naman ako sa intermittent fasting ko, bakit hindi ako pumapayat? Then, ito po yung sagot doon. There are other factors. So, chronic stress is the biggest thing. Sleep deprivation is another thing. Mood disorders is another thing. And hidden medical conditions. Unstable, untreated medical conditions. So, mamaya po yan, bukas ng umaga sa Philippines, 8 a.m., yung stress reduction, ipopost po namin yung link. You do have to register for this kasi Zoom po siya. Sa Zoom Meet. And you can ask me questions there. You can see me face-to-face. Free session po ito. Again, another public service ng ating Level Up Wellness Community. If you're not a member yet, please do join. Yan, hanapin nyo lang po yung link niya. Nandun po kasi yung Zoom link. Okay, so let me see. Sino po ang may tanong dito? Pasensya na kung hindi mabasa na po. Okay. So ito po, magandang topic ito, si Miss Christine. So Miss Christine, it's best for you to download yung atin pong food guide. So yun yung unang-unang number 1 na dapat pong gawin, yung food guide. Dahil unang-una, ito yung gabay na magsasabi sa inyo kung ano mga dapat ninyong kainin. So this is the food guide. Nandyan po yan sa group. At maaari siyang i-download, i-screenshot. Pwede kayong mag-reach out sa team members namin. Or we will let you know, send us your email address and we can send you yung PDF nitong food guide para madaling basahin. Yun yung unang step. Ngayon, ikalawang step, yung paano makakatipid. Then, you have to join our group. Join po doon sa Level Up Wellness kasi makikita nyo yung mga food posting ng members doon. Iba't iba po yan for different types of budgets. So, for example, pwede naman pong kainin ay pinakuluan na kangkong and fish. Kung hindi naman kayo allergic, pwedeng may kamatis yun. So, there are a few ways to do this na tipid, hindi masyadong magastos. Pwede rin po yung kung talagang walang-wala, pwede rin po yung sardinas. Sardinas is high in fat and it's protein as well. Pwede rin po yung mga tuna na nakalata, and then gigisahin na lamang natin. And samahan natin ang iba't iba pong gulay galing dito sa ating list. So pwede po dyan ang mga ampalaya, Pwede dyan yung mga eggplant. So marami po yung combination, napakarami. Kung titingnan nyo po yan, green and yellow ang mga allowed. So ang dami yung pwedeng pagpilian. Tingnan niyo yung bawal. The bawal is only yung pula. So yung bawal na pula, napakaliit lang po niyan, right? Ang allowed is green and yellow. So marami pong options. Thank you for asking that question, Miss Christine. And join our community po, ano? And then sino po ang nagtanong? Sino po ang nagtanong dito? Hinahanap ko lang question. Hello po sa mga kaibigan natin from Japan. Marami na po yung ating mga followers dyan. Mga kaibigan natin from UAE. Hello po. Yung mga friends po natin sa DepEd, Department of Education. Marami na po tayong members from DepEd. Hello po mga ma'am at sir. Thank you po for joining. Let's have a look. Sino po pong may tanong? Parang wala akong... Eto, magandang tanong. Miss Empix or Mr. Empix, Taide Jacinto, pwede po ba may diabetic ang fasting? So, nakita nyo po sa atin po, siguro kanina pa ito nung hindi ko na-discuss. Ayan po, benefit number 4, reversal. Benefit number 3, lowered insulin and blood sugar. Benefit number 4, reversal. Pwede po, make sure lamang na magpa-clear muna sa inyong provider, health provider, doctor. Make sure na stable ang inyong condition. And once na stable ito, pwede po. Dahil in fact, ang low carb and fasting ay ang natural na gamot sa diabetes. Especially po type 2, ano? This is the natural. Yung mga type 1 po, hindi pwedeng gawin ito without the supervision of your doctor. So again, I stress this very strongly. Kung kayo ay type 1 diabetic, hindi po pwedeng magfa-fasting at maglo-low carb ng walang gabay ng doctor dahil may kailangang medication adjustment yan. Kung kayo naman ay type 2, syempre kailangan pa rin ng gabay ng doctor, lalo na yung may mga gamot din po, but it can really be safely done. Okay? So thank you for your question. Sabi ni Ms. Maribel, yes, as Christian, we practice fasting. Yeah. So ito, a great question again. Pwede bang fasting sa bata na 5 years old? We don't normally recommend fasting para sa mga bata. Ang ma-recommend lang po natin sa mga bata is to give them proper nutrition. Kasi ang bata will still have very sensitive yung hormonal signals na kasi kailangan din nila po, they are in the stage of growing. Ano po? So we cannot be limiting yung kanilang nutrition, but we can certainly provide healthier options. So using the food guide po na nandito, so for example, yung bata nagutom, humingi ng snack, imbis na bibigyan niyo po ng tinapay, which is in this section ng red, so tanggalin ko lang ito, then maaari po natin bigyan yung bata ng healthier option like boiled egg, nandiyan po yan sa ating green. Pwede po natin bigyan yung bata ng keso. So boiled egg, meron siyang keso, meron siyang nuts. So that is a much healthier whole food type of snack compared doon sa tinapay na makakapagpataba sa bata. Okay, so that's how you apply itong concept ng healthier living sa nutrition ng bata. Kasi hindi natin sila pwedeng i-fasting, and they shouldn't really be going on keto, but you can provide them with healthier options, and naturally na pong mag-lose ng weight ang bata eventually. And of course, very, very important yung activity level po. Activity level, children have to be given the chance to be physically active. Dahil kung lagi lang po sa gadget, maghapon dyan, that's not good for health. Unang-una, yung internet, social media addiction, maaring mag-develop sa bata, or gaming addiction. Ikalawa, syempre, hindi maganda pag hindi gumagalaw. So thank you for the great question. And siguro one last question na lang and I will go. Sino pa po ang may question dito? So ito, magandang tanong. So Miss Anna Liz, nagpa-fasting po me, 16-8. Okay lang po ba kumain ng carbs? So depende po sa carbs, Miss Anna Liz. Kung kayo ay carbs na pinipili niyo, so kunyari kayo ay non-fasting na, tapos na, nasa eating window na kayo, feeding time. Ano ba yung kinakain ninyo, right, na carbs? For example, kung kayo'y kukuha dito sa listahan natin, okay, kumain ka ng broccoli, that's fine. Low net carb yan eh. But if you're asking me, kakain ako ng tinapay, right, then siya po ay nasa pulang bahagi. Right? Because you are, mangyayari sa'yo, mag-yo-yo ka. Yo-yo. Taas, baba, taas, baba. Pumayat, tumaba ulit. Bakit? Patuloy mong sin-stimulate si boss insulin. It's all about boss insulin, right? So kahit kayo nagfa-fasting, fasting is not an excuse to eat unhealthy. Fasting is not an excuse. Marami dyan, ay, pwede akong mag-cheat day kasi nagfa-fasting naman ako. So anong ginawa mo? Wala, kinancel mo lahat ng good effect na nakuha mo sa pagfa-fasting kasi, yan, anong ginawa mo? Stimulate mo na naman si boss insulin. Anong trabaho ni boss insulin? Yan, fat production. So, no wonder, yo-yo yung inyong weight. Okay? So, siguro yun lamang po. Join me again next broadcast. Join the community po, and doon sa mga kailangan ng extra gabay. So, ila-launch na po namin Independence Day, ang launch ng ating wellness program doon sa mga need ng extra gabay. Kung gusto naman ng free, andyan lamang ang Level Up Wellness Community. I always go live on broadcasts and this is free for you all. Pero kung gusto po ninyo ng more guidance with exercises, yung mga food menus and all that, meron tayong guided program. So the Level Up Wellness Program. So launch po niyan is Independence Day, June 12. So yun lamang po. I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.